Welcome to the third section of the course. In this section, we will study functional and functional reactive programming, two programming paradigms that are on the rise in the JavaScript community the last few years. We will begin the section by examining functional programming in general before diving into some of the concepts discussed here in later videos. The truth is that if you search the internet, you will find multiple academic definitions of what functional programming is, and it's very easy to become confused and discard it as something that is hard and pointless. So I tried to invent a short starting definition. You have to understand that this is by no means a complete definition. This is one that I personally find to be the easiest for newcomers to understand. Functional programming is a declarative style of programming that has three major principles: pure functions, avoiding side effects, and avoiding shared state. Let's examine these three in isolation. Let's begin with pure functions. A pure function is simply a function that, given the same input, will always have the same outcome, the same return value. That means that the results aren't somehow manipulated by a changing internal state. A pure function has no side effects. That's it. That's the definition of a pure function. But what is a side effect? It's when a function modifies the application state in a way different than its return value. A pure function accepts some input and produces a return value. If that function affects shared application state in one way or another, like changing the value of an argument passed by reference, printing something, or changing a global or shared field, then those changes are considered side effects and the function is no longer pure. This function, for example, accepts two numbers and returns their sum. It does not in any way affect shared state, and the results of its actions are only visible by inspecting its return value. So this function is pure. This function, however, mutates the internal class state by storing the result of the addition to a variable potentially used by some other method in the class. This is a side effect, and therefore the function is not pure. Finally, let's clear up what we mean by shared state. Shared state can be anything that is shared among two or more functions, but in JavaScript, shared state is created by classes. All fields in a class are part of a shared state, and if a method changes their values in any way, it's creating side effects like in the previous example. Global variables are also shared state, and so is anything that comes with closures. The last one can be a bit harder to understand, but if you pass a variable by reference from one function to another, then you are creating shared state because both functions are able to edit that variable. That's great so far, but what is reactive programming and how is it different than functional programming? Reactive programming views everything as a stream of data or events. So if we have an application where we click on a button and we receive a list of contacts and then select some of those contacts to send an email to, reactive programming can be used to model that operation like this. We often represent a stream of events as bubbles connected with arrows. One key takeaway from this is that streams in reactive programming run towards a single direction. Once the click happens, we receive a list of contacts. We filter those contacts and select the ones to which we want to send an email. There is no way to go back to the previous state. This can seem inconvenient, but it's also a way to avoid side effects. This is how reactive programming mixes with functional principles. Finally, we get a series of emails by merging the contact with another stream, a stream that only contains the written email, assuming of course that we plan to send the same email to all of the contacts.